So Ash, how
Yeah.
come you didn't like Parasite?
Bro,
I thought it
this.
was cool.
No, it was not. In a way. Like most of the time they were just doing that. Plus, the characters, they were not using any kind of brain. Like, at least in anime, they had like, oh, we have an organization and they function like it. And they used a lot of. There was substance to it. But here it was just like, oh, let's copy some of the plot structure from the show, but we since we are doing our own thing and creating our own new multiverse, we'll just take our own way. And their approach was okay, they are going to work as a church and all that shit, but it goes nowhere. They don't function as an organization well.
No, you're wrong, bro.
Suddenly,
I, I, I'll agree with you with this. They do run away a lot. Okay, they do because they're facing an organization and they're only it's only one girl and like his her friend, which is kind of useless. He doesn't have any
oh,
powers,
plus
so
the whole
they do
like.
have to be smart and
Oh,
run
oh,
away.
another thing was that when she got caught, the whole like the parasite talking to her and the whole going through her childhood sequence, it was all fucking useless. It didn't add anything to the
Don't
plot.
you have a heart? She was beaten as a kid by her dad.
Yeah, but you have to execute it correctly. You have to tie it in the plot and her character.
It wasn't
They
executed
failed to
correctly.
do that. It was just there for like, hey, look at this poor girl and how much she has lost. And
You don't have a heart, bro. What the hell's wrong with you?
bro,
She
that
got
show
beaten up
was
by her
trash.
dad, and the detective kind of became her father figure because he
No,
was the only kind of grown up
yeah,
that helped
that
her.
part good. But I'm talking about the whole parasite talking to her when she was caught. That whole
Wait.
sequence was just
I
waste of time.
Gas is gonna say something really important. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute y'all because I haven't watched this. So
Okay.
y'all keep talking, okay? Type in the chat if you want me when you're done.
Oh, so you are gonna watch it? Okay, you're already muted me.
Bro, because
Okay.
some IG girl told him to watch it. Of course he's going to watch it.
No, dude, I would agree with you. I would agree with you that they do run away a lot. Okay, that's funny. But like I said, they're fighting an organization and they're not really that prepared to fight a whole
Like, have
organization
you
by
seen the
themselves.
anime?
Yeah, of course, and I saw the anime first.
So like when
and I really
his
liked
mom
it.
died and all the things that he has to go through, like that was done really well. But in this
Oh no,
case,
that was way more shocking and more like I would agree with you. I remember when his mother became that monster.
what they could have done is like, okay, her dad was abusive and all that, so she only has one person to trust on. But they could have tied it on with like how her approach towards like this whole thing is linked to that. But the problem was that like substantially, like this show had a lot of style. Like, okay, the shaky cam fighting,
Yeah, it looked cool.
the guy like the all the scenes with the guy, like I felt more for the guy because like his poor like sister was fucking taken over. His gang betrayed him. Like he was just taking
Oh
L's.
yeah, exactly. And I did like the scene where he was like, the cop gave him a choice. It's like, okay, you can either help us or you can run away. And the guy initially wants to run away, and I was
Yeah.
like, I get it, dude. This is not really your problem. You know what I mean?
Plus, another thing I did not hate was like the lady whose husband turned into Parasite, and then she was leading the.
I loved her, dude. She was my favorite character.
Her character was not growing, like it was just static. Like you get a background of why she's like that, and she still felt bad for her husband. All of that was good and all, but her as a character was not growing. Like what they could have done is like they could have given more time, because the cop that the girl trusted on was dead. So now what they should have done was should have used that as an opportunity to grow her character and make like the lead like pair up with her, rather than like just constant of like, oh my god, she's not changing, she's not trusting, she thinks all the parasites should be dead. Like they could have used that as an opportunity to grow her character. That way when the final scene happened where the where the dude like tries to shake hand, that dude is like the main character of the Japanese anime. Like
Uh,
they
I
they
I understand that. I understand. I understand if they would have taken that approach. I would have liked it, but I also like the approach that they took, where the lady didn't really work with her. She
uh,
was still her enemy, and she didn't really trust her.
like
She
for me
started.
all it did was like, okay, so like there is chaos, but the thing is that that chaos is like just going in circles rather than like giving it a more structural way towards the end. Like for example, when that dude betrayed the whole church and the other lady was then against him, like they could have executed that differently in a way. Like for example, let's say, okay, so his plan was to, okay, take over the mayor, but at the end of the day, what was his end goal? Like what did he want? Did he just
Look,
wanted
it
to
was pretty
control?
clear what his end goal was. He
No,
wanted to
like
infiltrate
what,
a human organization,
yeah, like
like a
instead of
top
that,
human organization.
instead of that, what he could have done was he could have used the people that he had to like
That's true. I'll give you that. He
infiltrate
should have
like,
had like a right hand
yeah.
man that wasn't
So,
that
like,
human guy.
yeah, like he became a cop, so instead of like getting all the people under him killed, he could have gotten information on when the mayor thing is going to happen, and he could have used those parasites to go there and infiltrate by pretending to be workers who are going to helping with the festival. That way they could have added more chaos, and they could have had like a whole finale where like the main lead is there, the detective lady is there in order to stop and kill everyone, and all the people are dying. Like they could have done a lot of different approach rather than what, like it could have had more substance. If a show is good, that means like it has very little things to improve upon, but in this case there were so many things that they could have done that would have made it far better than it was.
Well, you're kind of editing the show to the way that you would want it to be. I didn't have that mindset as I was watching it. I just
Because the
enjoyed it
thing
for
is
what
that
it
I've
was.
seen other Korean shows and they go the same
Yeah,
way.
you recommended Kingdom, and Kingdom was so crap and boring. And I don't. And then you say that Parasite is trash. Kingdom was trash.
No, Kingdom has like a lot of stuff going on. Like it had
Oh, boy,
politics
please,
in
dude, it's
it.
so fucking boring.
It had politics in it. It had like people and how they have to work towards, because
Super fit for politics.
all the historical leaders at that time were just did they were not aware of it, and they were not letting people in, and there were so many different decisions happening. Plus, the main guy wanted to kill the prince, the main villain.
And the prince was, dude. The prince was such a boring ass character, dude. Uh, Honestly, I could defend Parasite the same way you defend Kingdom, because you find the concepts in Kingdom interesting.
Yeah,
I
but the
found
thing
the
is that you
concepts
have
in
to
Parasite
offer
kind of
me
interesting.
valid improvement areas, like how I offered in Parasite. Because in Parasite they had source material. In Kingdom it was just their own thing. So here
No,
they
I
had a
didn't.
source
I
material. So they are supposed to be like it cannot be like, since you have a source material that is already well done, you can
no.
take it, you can
It
take your
didn't.
liberty.
What I liked about it is they didn't have to follow the source material. It
No, like
just
you can
take
take that
concept of it.
liberty, but you have more ideas to put to it to make a far better option, which they did not. Like this was vastly inferior to the anime.
Most live action shows are, and I would not disagree with you there. I did like the anime more. I
And I'm
actually
talking about on a
not-
structural and story based, like not based
I
on.
liked it. I liked the anime in a different way. I did like Parasite a lot as his own thing, because I did like that they didn't copy the anime.
This show started well, like when they were talking about the whole backstory of the dude that was helping, and the whole girl character trying to like figure out what the fuck was going on and how they were communicating, but they never built upon that much till the moment that she was caught and they were interacting with each other. Like they had a lot of time. They could have built on the relationship between the parasite that was in her and herself, like how there was a relationship between Miggy and the main dude in anime.
Yeah, I would say the relationship between the
Like if the
Parasite
parasite was
better.
supposed to be dead and she becomes human again, you won't feel anything for that parasite, because it was just you like you didn't have any connection. Like for example, with Miggy, you at the end felt bad. Like, oh for fuck, is he dead? Is it what is going on?
No, you know what? I would agree with you there. That's true. No, that's a good point. I would agree with you there, but that still didn't take away from my enjoyment of this different interpretation of this live action because it's true. In this interpretation, this live action, I didn't feel that much for the parasite itself, but I did feel bad for the girl, and I did relate to her because she has such a shitty life, like from the beginning with her dad beating her up. She was like she said she's unlucky. You know what I
Plus,
mean?
like character wise, her growth has been like almost not that much. Like, see, think
How
about
much
it.
do you expect her to grow, bro? She's kind of dealing with the situation that's way out of her control. She's
Yeah,
not gonna have a lot of time to
like, but
grow.
the thing is that they had a lot of points where she could have grown as a character, which they did not let her.
Bro, it's a different type of vibe. Like in anime, they do that. They can force that kind of growth in like a very cheesy way, but in real life action, it doesn't really work that way, or at least it doesn't work for the tone of
Or
this
at
series.
least
For
what
the
they
tone
could
you
have
were
done
going
is
for.
like, had they solidified her relationship with the parasite, that could have been like her way of overcoming whatever she was feeling. So that was at least like she made terms with what she had
She's not gonna
feelings about.
overcome the way she's feeling because it's a pretty hard thing to overcome in
No,
like a
I'm not
like
talking
few
about the
days.
past. Like right now, she would be like, okay, at least I have to accept the state where now I have to coexist with it. Like there could have been more of a bond between them. That would have been like at least
Nah, I disagree.
some
I disagree
added
because
growth to it.
it's not. It wouldn't feel the real. It wouldn't fit with the realistic tone of the series that it
Because right
has.
now,
You know
when
what
you
I mean?
think about season two, as a character, she has a lot to grow.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, that's true. Like maybe in season two, she will grow more with the parasite, and get more used to it, and get more, even a little bit more confident, with her like using her powers. I guess they can synchronize a lot more, maybe. Um, but overall, I thought the series was pretty good. I mean, like the action, like you said, the some of the shots were pretty cool. That you can tell that they put some like money into the
Yeah,
series.
my problem was mainly with the story. I didn't think the story was that good.
I thought the story
Because it was
was
more
good.
like a lot of sequence of events chained together.
Now I don't. Well, you can see it that way. Okay, you're your own person. I didn't see it that way at all. I don't. I wouldn't say that the story has a lot of depth to it, but I think the characters, the way they react to what's happening, is interesting. It feels like realistic if you were put in that situation.
Another
Uh,
thing was even the backstory of the cop that changed his side towards the parasite. That could have been done better too.
which one? The cops that betrayed her or the detective that dies?
The cops that betrayed, because the detective was good. Like he his character was good throughout.
His character was decent, and I was kind of surprised how quickly they killed him.
Yeah,
Like
the,
I did not expect for him to kill. I remember when I saw that scene, I was like, "Oh my god!" They just kind of like decapitated him like really fast. I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then the other parasite out of nowhere could take over people's bodies. It was kind of strange. But that parasite that betrays his own kind, um, you can
oh,
kind of tell that he's a parasite that he doesn't care
oh,
for anybody.
another thing they could have done is like they could have introduced like all of this would have been like a shock. Like okay, now the detective is the parasite, but the girl doesn't know, and later on they lure her in, and then she sensed that oh, why is she sensing a parasite, and that dude acting like that could have added even more to it.
It would have added more. They would have to prolong the series, but they also had to like make a shortcut so they can work with the good
Because the
detective.
thing was that they after that they still wasted a lot of time with certain stuff that they could have avoided, like for example the dude getting like the whole meetup between her and the detective. That was not necessary at all. They could have saved time with that.
Which meetup?
The one where they meet at the coffee shop.
Oh, I kind of remember that. I don't maybe
Yeah, because
remember that. What happens there?
it went nowhere, so that could have been avoided. Another thing that could have been avoided was when the sister kills the friend.
Oh no, I like that. Why would you think that they should
Like
have
instead
avoided
of
that?
that, they could have removed that and they could have added that thing that I'm
No, I
talking
thought
about.
that scene where he killed his friend was
Because
good because it kind of showed that that character that I forgot his name, the gang character. He
yeah,
even despite him being a gang, he had close friends that would actually help him. Because if you remember that scene, he's like, "Hey, dude, bring me some money. I need money." And the guy's like, "Okay, dude, I'll help you out," because he helped him out where he because that kid was bullied and whatever, and then he became a chat and whatever. And I did like
because the
that.
thing was that overall to the plot it added nothing, and the
I think it did that. It
and the
added to the
character it
backstory
was
a little
supposed
bit
to
of the
add, like
guy.
it had already added a lot, like there was already a lot of depth to that character anyways, so they could have used
No, I
that
think it
time.
did that because it also showed a sacrifice that a friend, like sacrificed himself to save him, and he was like struck by that too. He was like, damn. Then he wanted vengeance, so it gave him a little bit more motivation, and it upped the stakes a little bit in terms of his character.
The thing was
And
that
I
the
also
stakes were already high at that point, so like removing it would not have changed anything to the story.
no, I think they should have kept that scene. And one thing I would say is that his sister became the parasite, right? And she killed her little sister.
Yeah.
Um, that he didn't feel that much of a connection with her. I would say that's one part that because that's his older sister, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, my older sister's a monster, but he doesn't seem that phased by it. That was a little strange. Um, that was a little weak. I wouldn't say the series is perfect either, but I would
Oh,
say
or because like before they introduced like he was more close to the younger sister and the older sister
yeah,
was sick a lot and used to follow the church and shit prior to that.
I
And
did like the scene where his like contact betrayed him, and then
yeah.
they ended up in like a cliff
But
with a
he still
car.
was trying to save him, but then he grabbed him and died, and he was like, "Get the fuck, leave me, motherfucker! Why are you going to take me with you?" But the girl
I
saved
also
him.
like the effects and the way they transform. Obviously, it's very different from the anime. In the anime, the guy transforms. It's only his hand, so he can be like a little bit more diverse with his hand thing.
Yeah, here
Uh,
everybody was just mainly using heads.
yeah, in the head, but it's weird. I like it because
Like
it's like
that,
a weird way.
like that
Imagine
scene was
imagine
cool.
all the actors fighting, just waving their heads before they put the CGI in. They're just
Yeah,
kind of waving their heads, like I whip my
and then they
hand
would
back and
add the
forth.
whipping
That's the
sound.
way that they fight. But I
And,
thought it was cool because it made it like gruesome a
do
little
you
bit.
also remember the scene where one guy just overturned the car and the other guy just was sliding through the cars and killing the soldiers?
I you mean the highway scene, like the
Yeah, the
heist,
highway scene.
where
Yeah,
they
yeah. Where she makes the escape with the dude, the good dude.
yeah, exactly. That's one of the things that I liked about the series, that the action scenes were cool. Like the settings of it were cool. Like that highway scene where they make the escape. I thought that scene was pretty cool because like the way they shot it, the place the way they shot it, like a highway. It was kind of chaotic, not super chaotic, but like it was chaotic enough. Um, Overall, like the series had like good special effects, had a solid story. Like you have a problem with it, I really don't. Like I see the flaws, some of the flaws that you point out, and I agree. But they didn't like. You want to edit it into a better show. I didn't feel that way. Even with Kingdom, even though I found Kingdom boring, I didn't want it to edit it into like a better show. I just kind of was taking it as it is, and I did find Parasite more interesting than Kingdom, and I thought the execution was better, and I thought everything was better, honestly, in terms of the fights, the money they put into it, the characters, uh, and my favorite character was the detective girl. I forgot her name. She's not a detective.
The
She's the leader of the
detective,
unit.
the bitch
What was the
lady,
name of the unit? I forgot.
the Grey. They were called the Grey Unit.
The Gray, right? That's why it's called the Grays, exactly. She's the leader of the Gray unit. She was my favorite character throughout the whole show, and I did like her backstory a little bit. But give me a second. I did like her backstory. I did like that it showed enough, but it didn't spend 2 episodes on her backstory It just spent like the beginning of one episode explaining her backstory. How her husband, like became a monster, and she was at the supermarket. That scene was cool, and I just enjoy her character overall, especially when she was first introduced. She was like she was like cracking jokes and shit, even though it's super serious. Um, I love her character. Didn't you like her?
I liked her at first, but at the end, like her decision making and shit annoyed me. I was like, God damn, she's fucking making so many people were making dumb decisions that it pissed me off. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you gotta take into account the perspective of each people.
Yeah,
This,
I
you as a
took that in account. It's just that, like, if I'm okay, I'm with that perspective, but the problem was at that time, so many people were making so many dumb decisions that I was like, why? Because all it's adding is like forcefully adding chaos to this pot.
well, yeah, that's part of the interest in the show, right?
Like
That
for
they
me,
they had
it
their
has to feel natural, and it rather than that, it felt like how like in Hollywood movies they have like a lot of stupid decision making just to add
no.
to it.
I think that the way they executed felt more natural than the way that you kind of wanted to execute it, so everybody just become friends and work
Nah,
together.
nah,
That's
nah.
not
The
gonna
thing
work.
was that with that, like they could still have like conflicts and still have distrust and like still try to fuck each
No,
other up.
because they would work together. They would just believe each other.
No,
This way, they still have the conflict. That gray leader, that girl, she took into account what they said to her. Because they said to her, "You have like parasites in your own group. That you got like spies." And she, even though she didn't fully believe that, she still looked into it, and she like and eventually she did believe them. She did believe the
yeah,
lead.
but that was the final episode. That could have
Exactly. There was
saved
only
time.
6 episodes.
Yeah,
It was a very series.
but it still felt like story level there were a lot of flaws, lot of them.
Well, maybe you could have wanted more, and maybe they'll show more in season 2, and they'll expand on it. And I did like that at the end they introduced the guy from the anime. It's a little bit cheap. It's a little bit of like what do you say, fan service to kind of include him. And but at the same time, I did like him from the anime, so I was a little excited, and I'm a little excited to see how it plays out with him and her in the second season. Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna give it a second season. Because I thought the show was pretty good. It deserves a second season, in my opinion. Uh, but I'm curious to see how he's gonna work with the female character that
No,
has the parasite.
I think what they were going to do is like now they're gonna make a Japanese show on that.
I don't think it's gonna be the main focus of the
No, like
second
now
season.
they are expanding, so they're gonna have like a like a Netflix remake of Parasite because last Parasite live action was a movie. Now they can make a series.
I mean, I don't know why.
And then they can
I,
make
I don't-
and then they can make Parasite Thailand. Parasite. Different
I'm
Parasite.
not honest. I'm not really that well versed on the whole Parasite universe. I only seen the anime and this live action series.
Because now they are going to because now they realize okay, time to get money from Japan now. Make a remake of Parasite the Maxim. So they can then make another remake where both of them work together in same universe.
You do agree that the series was like had good action scenes and it was
Yeah,
well
it had
shot.
good action scenes. That I agree. It's
You
just
don't
that
like
story wise.
the
My problem is with story, not the action scenes and CGI. And the acting. Acting was good too. It's just the story that was the main problem for me.
yeah, the acting was good. I wonder what's gonna happen with the older sister because I don't remember. Does she die?
They actually didn't confirm it, so she can still be alive because she could have taken another host.
Yeah, probably. I would like her to see her come back as like this not maybe a villain that's indifferent that could maybe work with them and then maybe not work with them. Like the kind of the same way that she was portrayed here. She wasn't really an ally, but although she did apologize, I think, to the guy at the end. Remember?
Yeah.
She apologized for taking. I would have cut that part out. I don't need her to have feelings or like become a good guy or anything like that. But I don't know, dude. It seems like what you don't like about the show is that you would have edited a different way uh, for them
Like
to be
for
able
me,
to keep watching
it
this
was
shit. You
not.
wanted to make it like an anime, bro. It's
No,
not an anime. It's a
no,
live
no,
action
no, bro.
show.
It's not that. I want more depth in it. That's what I want.
What then?
I want more depth in the show. I want more substance in my shows. And this show just has
Are
style.
you kidding me? Kingdom was so boring, and you think that New World movie that you saw was
Oh,
so boring too,
okay.
and you
For
like that, but you don't like
Kingdom,
Parasite.
since chaos is here, he has seen Kingdom. Let's let's
Yeah,
have
but
him say.
he hasn't seen Parasite to compare to it.
No, but you were talking about.
He's enjoying this time, just making himself a fool.
Oh yes, I've been wrong. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Tell this guy. He's saying Kingdom had no substance, was shit, boring.
He said SHIT.
Yeah.
No, what I don't understand about it, Ash, is that
What
the
you don't
character.
understand about a zombie apocalypse set in ancient, like, what is this, like 200 BC AC 80,
Yeah, the setting didn't do a lot
all the
for
way
it.
back,
1800.
and they're not just zombies. These are different creatures, much like zombies, that cannot come out during the day because they're cursed.
Bro, from a stupid
You don't
flower.
understand. You don't understand.
From a
Kingdom.
flower.
No. You've been talking for like 40 minutes. Now's my time.
You don't even know what we're talking about, bro. You're so angry. You're so hyped for nothing you know nothing about.
You interrupted my song, okay? Look,
No,
Kingdom was beautiful because when I watched it, I was going through just watching zombie. I think it was after I finished The Walking Dead, so I was just on a zombie run. Kingdom was so good because it was so different than everything else. It's set
How is
way.
still zombie?
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
finish talking, sir? Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
I didn't interrupt you. I did, but you couldn't hear me. But okay, it's not just zombies. So these creatures, they only come out during the day, or they only come out during the night. Sorry, and they just charge forward. It wasn't just zombies. This was people with without the technology to survive, somehow trying to survive. When half of them didn't believe it, and the ones who knew were trying to hide it. You got a small group of people trying to show everything. I didn't see Parasyte, so I don't even know what that's about. But I've seen the anime like a while ago. But
Did you like the anime?
it's not on my list of things I'd recommend. But it wasn't bad.
No, you know what?
From what I remember, it wasn't bad.
It's weird because I did like the Parasite anime a lot when I saw it, but I wouldn't put it among my favorite anime either.
That's
But
not weird. That's not weird at all.
no, it's because it's one of those things that I enjoyed a lot, but somehow I can't put it like in my top anime list. You know what I mean? But
That's
I
not-
remember watching and enjoying it a lot.
Well, I know because you're like out of the three of us, you're the weeb of the group. All you do is watch anime. I know. So
That's
it's
Ash.
not that surprising. Look,
That's
is
Ash,
cool.
obviously.
Look, Ash has a life. All you do is watch anime. It's not
Okay.
that surprising that you wouldn't like them all.
Is this Freaky Friday? This is Saturday, bro. We haven't switched roles, you know. But you know, I still. This is the thing. Like I think it's a matter of taste, I guess, in different taste. Because what Ash finds weak about Parasite, the characters and the plot, that's what I find weak about Kingdom. The characters in Kingdom don't have a lot of depth. It's kind of interesting that it has like a politic like thing to it a little bit. But it's like
Did you
superficial.
finish? Did you finish all of Kingdom?
Yeah, I
It's
did.
like it's 2 seasons, right?
Yeah,
I
2
thought I
seasons
watched,
and
first
special.
Yeah, you saw the special too, right?
No, what? I got bored of it.
So you haven't even finished it.
I didn't get bored. Yes,
Take your opinion and shove it because you didn't even finish the show. You're talking
It's not gonna
all this
make it
mess
better.
and you didn't even finish the show.
I am like
It's not something like Parasite, which is pretty much the like Netflix releases Avatar: The Last Airbender, One Piece, and now Parasite. A bunch of trash live actions. Okay,
No,
that's what they
it's not.
do.
It's different from the.
Kingdom. Can I finish? Can I finish? Kingdom was done perfectly,
Jesus Christ.
and you are in denial. You're drinking you're drinking the Parasite juice. Okay?
I may have a parasite.
You're addicted to that juice, and we're about to take you to rehab. Okay?
I may have a
Kingdom was
parasite. And
the top, I would say, of all the zombie movies, because Netflix has quite a few, especially Army of the Dead, which I enjoyed, and the All of Us Are Dead, which is also very good. But Kingdom is so original in its whole entirety.
oh,
It
God.
is a top 3 zombie themed series or movie of all time.
It was boring, and it's funny how
That you
it's like,
consider it boring shows exactly
no,
what
it's
kind of
funny.
show the Parasite live action is. That's what this show tells me. That is why I'm removing it from my to watch list. Because when I saw the pictures, I added it. But hearing you talk this nonsense, you're sipping your little Parasite juice. Look, I don't want a Parasite. You can get all the Parasite you want.
I don't give
I don't want
a
this
shit, bro.
sickness. You're sick. You need help. You need
Honestly,
help.
it's stupid. No. Honestly, it's stupid that Ash thinks that the characters in Parasite don't have any depth. When the characters in Kingdom don't have any depth, it's a
They
stupid.
literally,
It's a stupid very bad, very superficial.
look.
Okay, he got this own whatever.
Ash,
Then you got
let me ask you
the
something.
fighter, the warrior. He was a warrior from like some mercenary group. He's really good. He has no depth either. Okay, then you have the nurse.
He's literally the main dude. What are you talking about? Oh my God.
Like,
Look, Ash,
all
let me ask you
the
something.
characters and the characters in Parasite, they're not.
Ash, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What's the difference between Parasite and Venom?
I have not seen Venom.
You haven't seen even the first one?
No.
Okay. I may have been wrong what I said earlier. Maybe this man isn't who I thought he was. He hasn't seen either Venom. That's
Yeah, because
You know
I didn't
what?
want to see it.
Look, I don't want to hear your opinion, okay? You ain't even seen Venom, okay? Like, you went from up here all the way down here. You're below the camera lines now.